Hi, I'm Paul Feiner. I'm the Greenburgh Town Supervisor, and welcome to this week's edition of Solving Problems. My guest is Nicole Guenkel, and Nicole is a librarian at the Greenburgh Library and specializes in adult services.
That's right.
And how long have you been working for the library?
So I've been a librarian since 2006, but I've been at Greenburgh since 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just about 6 years at the end of this month.
The library is more than just a place to get books, right?
It's so much more, and it's, I think, really changing gears and pivoting based on the needs of the community. I was just telling Terrence here about a new program we've initiated to loan out DVD players and rewritable DVD and CD players, because streaming services don't have the same licensing that they once did. Streaming services are changing, and there's still a need for this content that's now only available on DVD. But if you don't have a DVD player, you can borrow one from the library with a Greenburgh Library card.
That is great. What are some of the other services that you offer?
We also we have museum passes, which are very, very popular, and they are expanding little by little. They've grown a lot in the past year. I don't know how much growth to expect, but it seems like it is expanding. We do other take-home technology, including iPads and streaming subscriptions. So if you wanted to watch a show on a streaming subscription that you're not ready to subscribe to just yet, you can borrow it from the library with a Greenburgh Library card.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have a question. If somebody wants to go to a museum, like say the Intrepid Museum in New York, which is sort of expensive, and they contact the library, is it easy to get the free pass? Is it sort of like, well, if I want to take, say, my family to a museum in New York, is it almost automatic, or is there?
I would say just give yourself enough time, because they are pretty popular. This week, for instance, the schools are out, and pretty much all our museum passes are out.
So you have like a select number of passes that you could give?
Yes, per day.
And how much advance time would you recommend that people make reservations?
You can do it a couple months in advance. I would give myself at
but
least
not like a day
month.
in advance.
It would be unlikely. It's not that it's impossible, but you might not get the top the top museum pass that you wanted. You might get something else.
And when people have museum passes, if they want to take their whole family to the museum, how many tickets could they get?
It's really going to depend on each institution. They're all a little different. I think I was looking at the Guggenheim Pass yesterday, and it was 4 adults and all the children in the party, which is a pretty good value.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
And there's no fee.
And there'd be no fee. No.
So if somebody is planning like a family outing in June, they should contact you now. But if they're planning something in the second week in March or something, and it's already the end of February, forget it.
No, I wouldn't say forget it. It's definitely worth a try. And you could see all that on our webpage. Our webpage has a lot of information. I think it's pretty well organized. We do have a big icon right at the top for museum passes. It'll show you a calendar of availability based on each institution. But you can always call us. We're happy to help.
And does if one family member has, say, the card, but the other members don't have a library card, that's fine, right? Oh, that is really fabulous. You also have a local history room.
We do, and a lot of materials have recently been digitized and are available to browse online through our local history link as well.
That is great. It's just a small room, so the history section. And are you able to, have like tons of stuff? Is it sort of like the county archives?
I don't know how cumulative it is. It is pretty interesting, and I definitely encourage people interested in local history to check it out. By appointment, you can access the room, and it's pretty accessible. The schedule.
That is great. And you did an Edgemont Echo collection.
That's right.
What's that about?
You know, Paul, I'm really not the best person to speak on it, but our local history our local history librarian, she's worked very closely with the Edgemont community to digitize those resources.
And I think that it was, including the Edgemont Echo, it was a hyper-local newspaper published between 1943 and 1956. I think the library, my recollection was the library partnered with the Edgemont Historical Society, and there were issues of the Edgemont Leaves community newsletter, which they have. So there's articles from 1938 to 1950, and it's sort of interesting because, you know, the Scarsdale Inquirer just folded, you know, recently, and after I think 123 years, and I guess there's a history in Greenburgh of newspapers not lasting and being replaced by, let me just shut this off, being replaced by other forms of media. But this is really great. In terms of, you know, what made you decide to become a librarian?
You know, I loved my college library. I did.
What college?
I went to SUNY Geneseo. The internet in the mid to late 90s, the internet was really gaining popularity. Pretty new to me still, and just so exciting. And we had great librarians there to show us how to use the databases and access all the resources. They had a beautiful periodical room that had a cafe with delicious bagels in it. So it was pretty much my favorite place to be. And I was so
the bagels inspired you to become a librarian?
They definitely played a part, yeah.
That's good. Well, it's sort of similar to what motivated me, because when I was 13 or 14, I worked for Ogden Reed. He was a congressman, and what motivated me to volunteer in his campaign was they had a lot of snacks and bagels and donuts, and my parents never let me have sweets when I was volunteering in the campaign, I could eat as much as I want. So I had the same. That got me into this.
Food and snacks are a strong motivator, especially for younger people. I wanted to share with you and the community today information about the upcoming solar eclipse. So we have the solar eclipse coming on Monday, April 8th. It's going to be very visible here. It's going to be really the last solar eclipse in the US until 2044. So we want everyone if you're going to be in this area, you're probably not going to be able to avoid it, because it should be about, we're not going to be in the totality, but we'll have about a 90% blackout from the solar eclipse.
And when is that going to be? What time?
Around 3 o'clock, 3:10 should be the fullest. And what's really significant is that we want everyone to view it safely, because it'll look very dark. It'll give the appearance that it's safe to look at, but it's very damaging to our retinas. And unfortunately, we don't have pain receptors in our retina, so we don't know the damage that we're doing. So if you don't mind, I'd like to share a glass with you and demonstrate how we're going to safely.
But I can't see anything.
These are, you want to get official glasses. You can register at the Greenburgh Library for your pair. We're trying to be fair about the distribution. It's one pair of glasses per adult library card. And now.
And you said it's April
8th, Monday, April 8th, so it's coming.
And I remember, a number of years ago, there was an eclipse, I think, and at Woodlands High School, they had like a whole big event. So was that the last one?
The last one? Well, there was one in October of 2023, but I think visibility was really low.
I mean, this was before that, you know?
Yeah, that was 2017, August 2017. It was huge. It was very popular, especially with libraries. I think it was NASA that was sharing eclipse viewers that were being distributed from libraries. So actually, I would say most libraries were really taken. What do I want to say? Not unprepared to distribute for the demand.
Are you going to have like encourage people to meet, say, at the library, and then is somebody going to explain it, or are you just going to be giving these out?
So we're giving these out, and we'll get back to these in a second, because we do want people to view the solar eclipse safely. But in the preparation of the eclipse, we have about 15-20 programs to educate and entertain the public about the solar eclipse, including we have a presentation in Spanish with a Columbia University student, and our Off the Path NASA ambassador Bob Kelly and another student from Columbia are going to be speaking about how to safely view the eclipse and how to participate in NASA's basically like a citizen scientist program to help record information as the eclipse is progressing.
I wonder if there should be like a place where everybody could sort of meet, and then maybe somebody during the while people are waiting could actually explain what's going on. I think that would be really cool.
We are not planning to do anything day of at the library, right, in part because our visibility to the sun is not always great, just the way the building is and the sun. So we don't have a ton of space, I would say, at the library to view it, but I think that's a great idea. I'd be happy to participate.
Maybe one of the schools, we could do that. Have you posted information about the solar eclipse on the website yet?
Yes, we have. Yes.
That's good. So I will start publicizing this, and I'll try spreading the word. I think it's really exciting.
So do I.
And this is really a perfect example of an initiative that a library could take that follows up on the mission of the library, because you're educating. People may want to take out books about it. They may want to go to lectures about the solar eclipse. Then when they see the solar eclipse, they'll understand the importance of it.
Yes, and I think it's something that'll hit people at many different ages all together. I think that's what's really powerful, is it's a community event.
You know what? I'm like so excited about it now, because I wasn't even aware of. Maybe my office could work with you, and we could try making this like a little program, and I'll contact the schools. And when we had at Woodlands, again, it was 2017, there must have been hundreds of people there. Or we could even do Veteran Town Park, where the pool is, and use a parking lot, and then have an explanation.
That would be really cool.
So when they have what day of the week is the eclipse?
The eclipse is going to be on a Monday.
Right. So that's going to so.
And it's just around after school or when school is ending.
Right.
But I'm sure we could all work together to do something.
That is really, really great. So we have the museum passes. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. We have the history section. We have a science section. You could take out DVDs. What happens if you don't like the art in your house? Do you have? I'm sure you don't have anything relating to art.
I mean, we have art books, but no art exchange programs. But that's a compelling idea. It probably exists elsewhere in the country. I know I went to a museum in Portland, and they had a bowl sharing program where sculptors or potters, they made bowls, and then people could check them out and then return them, which I think is maybe the most Portland thing I ever heard of. But I would be interested in doing that here. Paul, I want to tell, before I leave, I want to show you how to safely put on the glasses.
Oh, I did it wrong.
You and everyone. So the important thing is you want to look down and put your glasses on while you're looking down.
Like this.
And then look up at the solar eclipse. And when you're done, because honestly, you're not going to look very long, after you are done viewing, you look down to take them off.
Now it's also important, as you said, not to look at the sun. So let's say I'm lazy, mm-hmm. and I don't have, or I lose this, but I really want to see the eclipse, and I look up. How damaging could this be? It
could be damaging. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you don't have solar eclipse glasses, there are other ways to view the eclipse. And we'll go over that at some of the programs that we're having at the library in the next month. But to give you a hint, if you have a colander, really anything with holes in it, you can stand with your back to the sun, and the light that shines through will project the eclipse as it progresses in the shadow, wherever the shadow is on the floor, on the wall. So
that is really incredible, and I think there's a lot of interest now in space. So I think that this will get even more,
hope so.
It's really relevant, and I think it's really an important initiative that you're doing.
Thank you.
That is good. So what other? I was mentioning about a month ago. I was cleaning up my house, and I donated some old books to the library, and somebody said, "Oh, they really don't take textbooks." Any reason for that? Well, I guess like if I dropped off an old law school book, it's all outdated. I guess that's one reason.
That's probably a big reason. Well, the books sale and the book donations are all managed through the Friends of the Greenburgh Library, which is a separate nonprofit where we all work very closely. So it's really up to them. I think it might be hard to resell textbooks, especially if they're older. I mean, even if they're new, you could buy a $200 textbook one semester, and then the next semester it's valueless. So
yeah, I know the books are so expensive.
So expensive.
Yeah, it's like ridiculous. But if somebody wants to drop off a book, there's a place in the library that they could drop it off?
Yes, we accept donations whenever we're open. So.
What about computers? Do you have a computer section at the library?
Yeah, we have a couple. Children's room, teen room. We have one in the adult section, which is a more quiet area, and then a lab on the ground floor in the lobby. Yeah, and then technology it just continues to be a source of, anxiety for some people. It's something that people often need a lot of help with.
Does the librarians help people if they're like computer illiterate?
We can help to certain degrees. We do have computer classes, and we do subscribe to a number of online, educational resources. With your library card, you can gain access to LinkedIn Learning, which acquired lynda.com's educational database and then continued to grow that afterwards. And there's a ton of technology programs, but even for some people who are really, started from scratch, that is an obstacle. So we could help people get started with things like that. We're definitely able to, help people print and scan. Those are things that come up frequently.
Do you have to pay for printing if you have a computer?
There is a charge. I think it's 15 cents for black and white and 35 cents for color copies. But yeah.
Right, but there's like so much at the library. If you want, again, the computer room is just like really amazing. The museums. What if you have like a son or daughter who's not that smart in school, and they need a little help with their homework?
We have a homework help center on Tuesday evenings from 5 to 7 p.m. and it's facilitated or overseen by an adult with an education background, and then teen volunteers help children.
And is there a fee?
No, it's free.
So, what about if you want to study for the SATs?
If you wanted to study for the SATs, we do have SAT prep programs and other testing programs.
And are there a cost for that?
No, but with your library card, you could also gain access to tutor.com. Tutor.com has practice SATs in addition to one-on-one tutor help too, so you can get access with your library card.
When I was speaking to somebody a few days ago, I said one of the things that I think would be really useful, and maybe this is an idea the library could consider, would be helping people learn how to get government jobs through the civil service system. Because to get a job in government, you really need to be a top 3 test taker.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that would be a really great program to share with people.
Right, and again, a lot of people just have no clue what to do. So it's
like a secret. So it would be great to share that information more publicly.
What's the Greenburgh Library's website?
It's greenburghlibrary.org.
That's great. and the library cards are all free. Some libraries are waiving penalties,
right?
But Greenburgh hasn't.
We have waived our late fees on books, DVDs, magazines, on most items. I think with the exception being the museum pass and probably some of those take-home technology things. We just want things back. So that's really how it works. People still have the same borrowing period. You get 2 automatic renewals if we're able to. If the material is not too new and there's not huge hold lists on them, they typically can be renewed twice automatically. And if after that time, say after like a month of not getting that book back after the last due date, then you're charged for the replacement. But if you give it back to us, you're not charged anything. That's
when do they start waiving the fees?
I want to say it started during COVID, and then it became official after we reopened to the public.
And when does the library open? What days? We're open
from Labor Day to Memorial Day, Monday through Sunday, so all week, Sunday through Saturday. Our late nights, we're 9 to 5, Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we're open until 8:30, and on Sundays, we're open 1 to 5. And most Sunday afternoons, we could find a concert that you can attend for free with some really great musicians.
There's concerts, there's lectures, there's movies. Is the auditorium booked a lot?
Yes.
So really the library is more of a community center rather than just a place for reading?
Absolutely. There are tons of people using the library to borrow books. Of course, we live in a very literate community. People are very excited, love our library, but they also study there. People meet there. They play games in the lobby. We have people regularly playing mahjong and other games. You can eat on the first floor in the lobby.
And that's relatively new, isn't that?
To be able to eat.
Yeah, that's actually, I think
it's a pretty new concept in libraries, and to me it's great to have that option because I want to reduce the points of conflict with people. If people are spending their whole day there studying, or maybe they're using the Wi-Fi for work or applying for jobs, whatever they're doing, they're going to need to eat. It's nice to have an option and not to have a conflict around that. That's a human need.
Do you get people that you see every single day at the library?
We get a lot of regulars, yeah.
And one of the suggestions I just proposed this yesterday, Greenburgh has a very rich African-American history. We were the Parkway Garden section of the town was the first middle-class African-American sort of like hamlet. You had Camp Calloway, Mama's Mabley, so many celebrities. Gordon Parks, the photographer. You had so many people. Roy Campanella, living, in the town. And I'm sort of wondering it would be interesting to have sort of almost like a history museum, or even using the walls at the library and just having pictures of some of the famous people who have lived in the town.
I think that's a great idea. I'd love to see that happen.
Because we have such a nice history that should be celebrated and remembered by young people.
Absolutely, it's definitely something to be proud of, and I think that legacy still carries forth. I think we have so many wonderful people in our community doing great things.
And what about like a place for teens just to hang out and like a teen club? Do they have any? We have a teen room, and it is pretty well used. I think we'd love to see some more faces, some new faces. We have a lot of teen programming, including things like test prep and how to write a college essay and fun things, craft programs and gaming programs. Oh, and I just remember when I was when my daughter was really small, you have like an amazing children's library. Yes. Could you tell us a little bit about that? I am so impressed with our children's room. It's always really busy with programming. It's got a
gigantic, diverse collection of materials, including we just got new launch pads, which are tablets with preloaded games on them. They're thematically chosen, and they don't require Wi-Fi. So, and they're, for educational purposes. They have story time kits that you could take home. Just a lot of really fun things. Of course, they've got that train table and the light table that everyone really loves, the circle the kids love to sit in. But yeah, even this week we were so busy with the spring break, and we had something going on all week. And
you're a member of the Westchester Library System, so if you have a Greenburgh Library card and you want to take out a book in Bedford or Scarsdale or Eastchester or Yonkers, you have privileges.
That's right. That's right. You can pick up books anywhere, return them at Greenburgh, Oh, you know what I want to tell you, which was really in the last year we put in lockers. And what's really great about the pickup lockers is that you could have a card from any library in the county, and you can place a hold to pick up at our pickup lockers, which are available 24/7. So if you can't get to the library during library hours, you could still get access to all the great resources.
It's really it really is amazing. What do you have any plans for the future? Are there things that we could be excited about?
So I'm really excited about the solar eclipse programming and the solar eclipse that's coming up. And then after that, we have Arbor Day things going on, including little sapling tree giveaways that we're working with the town and other groups to do. But I know that there are some big projects going on with the canopy of the library because of just some leaks and whatnot. So those are, there's some big capital items. So the library should be looking really good, I think, in the next couple of years.
Well, it's it's really nice when the town has employees who really are dedicated, and it seems like you're very, very passionate about the library.
It's a wonderful library, and the staff is fantastic, but also it's a lovely community work in. I really mean that for all the community viewers here. It's such a pleasure to work here.
Yeah, and we're really grateful that you're working here and you chose Greenburgh rather than another library.
I'm very happy to be here.
If you ever want to go to another library, I'll write a letter saying that you weren't a good employee, so you'll stay here. But we're really so fortunate to have you, and I really am very pleased, that you are so passionate about the library services, and I think you did a really good job of highlighting what a terrific place the Greenburgh Library is. So I will be wearing this.
Yes.
And I will promote it, and you have enough. If I start putting this on the town website, there's enough with a library card. Enough of these.
We only have 500. We have such a limited number.
So I should say, it's first come, first serve.
It's pretty much. There's a link on our site to place yourself on a list for a pair of glasses.
Right. Are there other places where you could order more?
Yes.
Do you think the library will be able to get more if you run out of the 500?
I'm not confident about that. I'm sorry.
Which organization gave these?
We got these through, I want to say NASA, but that's not what they want to say. StarNet. We got through StarNet, yeah.
Thank you for joining us. And what's the website of the Greenburgh Library?
greenburghlibrary.org.
Great. I'm Paul Feiner, Greenburgh Town Supervisor.